What is going on, Mandy? And welcome back
Like
to Crowdfunding Comics.
Hey, Nile. And hey, everybody in the chat. How are you guys?
Hey, chat. Yeah, I appreciate you coming on, Billy. As you know, I think you may have heard, Billy's sister-in-law had a baby. So now the whole family's going to see. I believe they took the little one home. So he had to tell me earlier today that, hey, bro, is it cool? You don't mind, right? You don't think you're going to be mad? And I'm like, no, dude, take a breath. And I will see if Mandy will join me tonight.
Yay!
And here we have it.
Here we are. And he gets to go play with the baby and then hand it back when it starts crying or needs something. And that is that's what I'm looking for. Any of you guys in the chat that, you have a baby, your wives have babies, bring them to me and let me hold them just long enough to smell that good baby smell, and play with them for a few minutes, and then I'll hand them back to you.
I got 2 babies. You want to sniff them?
Bring them over. I'll sniff. Do you know what I'm talking about? That good
I do know what you're talking
smell?
about. It's that detergent. It's like baby powdery crap.
Yes.
And that little like baby shampoo stuff. And you're just like, and then
It
everyone wants to
so good.
pinch those little thighs.
I know. Skimmy them legs. Yeah. I do that to my kids. I'll say, skimmy them legs, little ones, and I'll tickle their thighs, make them laugh.
We're learning too much about Mandy right now.
A little bit. I like
kids. Too much. She's a sniffer. Oh,
I'm a baby sniffer. It's true.
Oh, fantastic. We've got great people in the chat right now. Lee, welcome. Jay, good to see you. Gary Shipman. Hey, that name looks familiar. Han Star, Peter Gilmore, how we doing, everyone? So, so as you know, we've had Gary on the show in the past, talking his other campaign. And one thing I was excited about, Mandy, and I don't know if you've seen this on Indiegogo, Titan, Mouse of the Mighty.
Yes, this book
that little mouse right there in that section looks freaking incredible.
It does. This book is right up my alley. I'm so excited to talk to him about this because it looks absolutely fantastic.
Yes, indeed. So, without further ado, I think we should introduce our guest and welcome Mr. Gary Shipman to the show. Gary, how you doing, my friend?
I'm good. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, happy to have you. I remember when we had you last on the show, you told us about this. You kind of saw that sneak preview in your previous campaign, and now it's here.
Yes.
It is here, and it looks amazing, man.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely
it really
incredible.
I'm glad you like it. Yeah, I have the first chapter, which would be basically the first issue if we were to do it in comics. I'm breaking it up into this campaign is for basically a 2-issue volume. But there's a possibility if we reach a certain stretch goal that we'll be adding like a 3rd issue or chapter. So it's been going along good. I got the first one done and we're moving on to the second one.
Oh, that's fantastic.
That's awesome. And yeah, I gotta say, dude, this book looks so good. So cute. I absolutely love it. And as soon as I steal my husband's debit card again, I'm going to be back with this one. So just be on the lookout. You're going to see me pop up where I bought one because it looks absolutely fantastic.
This is amazing.
Nice.
I mean, look at these pages here. Now you're doing everything on this, right?
Yeah, I have help with editing, obviously, because I'm not the best at that. But yeah, I'm doing the story and the art and layout and everything.
That's awesome.
Amazing. And one thing I have to point out, and we'll get into more depth, but I saw this right here, and that is the $1 million stretch goal of Titan Mouse of Might video game.
Oh my gosh.
Are you telling me that if you hit $1 million, you are going to have a video game produced?
Yeah, we would definitely do that. We also would probably even do an animated series or show or something if we reach that level.
That is awesome, man.
Yeah.
And we got Andrew J. Gary Shipman is a treasure. Look at that. We got a treasure on tonight, Gary. And that's you.
Yes, that's you, Gary.
We're all treasures, aren't we?
Just a little bit. A little treasure here, a little treasure there. Fly Fox Pro Gary is killing it on the art. I have to agree, Fly Fox. This art is sick. Now, are you going full black and white with this?
I am, yeah. The reason why is because in order to do full color, you're going to have to clear like a 30K in order to make it profitable.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always been a black and white guy. And I'm all for color. I don't have a problem with it. It's just that at this stage in the game, we're just going to offer black and white. If we get into those double digits, I guess you'd say, then we'll start talking about it. But right now, it's a black and white book.
Well, you know, I haven't seen any of your color stuff, but I think you're one of those artists that you can do black and white just as beautifully as you can color. The line work, I mean, everything is just absolutely, it looks fantastic in black and white. So, yeah.
Thank you.
You can put me, I can't pull off black and white. I've got to add some color to my stuff. But no, your art's it's lit, so you're good.
Yeah, I'm a black and white guy, Gary. I like doing everything in the blacks and whites and stuff like that. And I think that's because I can't color well. So maybe that's why that I just mastered the black and white. But I love what you're doing here. And it has almost like that. I wouldn't say, well, kind of like almost like that 80s indie comic look, if you know what I'm talking about, like with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles when they first came out.
Yes.
And that type of book. Was that kind of a feel you were going for?
I'm not exactly sure. I really like the black and white format. I liked like Jeff Smith's Bone when it was in black and white, and then I saw it in color, and I prefer the black and white. You know, I'm not saying that the color isn't good. It's just that I prefer it. I think it leaves more to the imagination. It's more engaging that way because the reader comes to the book, and you have to fill in all the color. You don't even know you're doing it. But you're filling in these colors in this world, and I think that it helps the reading experience.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
I agree
with that. Now, Gary, for any of our viewers out there that haven't seen our past episode with you or haven't seen you on other streams, what you do when you have your own, can you just give us a brief kind of origin story of how you got into comics and how you got to the point where you are today?
Yes. When I was a little baby, I was rescued from a field by this lovely couple, and they rescued me. And then as I grew up, they said, "You're not like other people. You're from another planet."
That's the
one that I like.
Oh, we got to zoom in on that. I thought we were getting deep right now.
That's the story I like, but the truth is, I just came across comics when I was a teenager, 12 years old maybe, and fell in love with the medium. And as at first I thought the same artist did everything. You know, I thought that they did like Casper and they did X-Men and Spider-Man and Archie. It was all the same guy. And I thought, oh, this guy's going to be getting old and he's probably going to want to retire. I could be the guy who takes over for him. And then as I got older and I started realizing, wait a minute, they're all different artists. This is a whole genre, you know, and there's tons of creators out there. I still loved it and I wanted to be one of them. Probably John Byrne at the very beginning in the X-Men run that he did really captivated me. And then after that, Frank Miller and, you know, just go down the list, Jack Kirby, Steve Ditko, all that stuff. So I got into comics pretty heavily, became a collector, I worked at a comic book store, really wanted to become a comic book artist. And in the 90s, I was honing my skills as an artist, I guess. And I just saw things in comic books going a certain direction, and I didn't like it. I didn't like what I was seeing, what people were offering. It just didn't do anything for me. I just thought it was all, I hate to lump it all together, but it just seemed like a bunch of garbage. And I got out for like 10 years and I went and worked for different companies and honed my skills in another way, you know. And then years later, a friend of mine who is still into comics, he said, "Oh, you got to read this book called Bone." And I said, "Whatever. Why?" He said, "It's really good." And I said, "Okay, I'll read it." So I read it. I said, "Wow, that is really good." But, you know, nobody reads that. He said, "Actually, they do. It's actually doing quite well." And I'm like, "Are you kidding me? Then maybe there is some hope." And then I got back into it again. I did Packens Land, like 25 years ago. And it's now put into an omnibus. That was my first Indiegogo campaign. And when I was on your show the first time, I think that was what we were talking about, but maybe it was a sketchbook. I can't remember.
No, we were talking about the omnibus. Yeah.
Okay. So Titan actually comes from that world, the world of Packens Land. And this story weaves in rather nicely to the Packens Land story. So that's it in a nutshell, I think.
Well, I just have to interrupt. Comics Legend says, let's get Gary to 100K.
Yes.
Wow.
We need to get there, Gary. And then to 1 million so we can play a game.
And then we can play video games.
The pinky, not like this. She's like, 1 million.
Like, who wants to be a millionaire over here? Owning friends. Yeah, no, we got to do it evil like.
Yes.
Right.
1 million. So, sorry. I'm sorry I interrupted you, Gary.
No problem.
Please continue.
Oh, I don't know what I was saying.
Oh, all right.
We really
It's all good.
No problems. So, now let me ask you, Gary. So, you went out of, you were in comics, you got out of comics, you went back into comics. What happened in between, though? Like moving forward, though, have you been in comics since? When did you get back in? Like, actually, what point was it? Like the early 2000s?
Let's see. I started getting back in. I was going to like comic book conventions and things like that. Probably a good 5 or 6 years ago, maybe 7. I went to like a lot of the Wizard shows. Went to San Diego Comic-Con. What year was that? I can't remember. It was. Anyways, I just started getting back into that realm. I did some limited edition prints, like I did an Indiana Jones for the Disney Lucas thing, and I did Belle from Beauty and the Beast, and what else? I did.
Mandy just lit up.
I'm excited now. Belle, huh?
Yeah, I did Belle. I did Spider-Man, Hulk, and Captain America. These are in limited edition form, on canvas type stuff. And I think the company the name of the company was Acme. That was who did that. I've done it for a couple of different companies, but that was the one that I did it for last. So that I got back into it, and I was thinking, well, maybe I'll get into it the print way, doing it through these high-end G clays or whatever. And so I did that for a while. I also did a Star Trek parody book called Fun with Kirk and Spock.
Yes, I remember you showed that.
Yeah, that was fun. It was kind of in the same vein as Fun with Dick and Jane or something like that. Like the old 40s or 50 book, kids book. So that was a fun thing to do. And then slowly started getting back, drawing Batman, drawing Spider-Man, drawing these things at shows, conventions, and slowly getting back into it. And I didn't really think that there was, like with my own properties that I've created, I didn't think that really there was a venue to how do you get people to know about it. And then a few years back, this whole crowdfunding thing started really, I got notice of it, and I was like, wow. And I think the first person that I saw do it that I was aware of was Ethan Van Sciver. And I saw what he did with Cyberfrog, and I was just like, wow, that's incredible. And it just inspired me. And then all these other people started doing it, and people did it before him as well. I just didn't know about them. And then I saw how YouTube was working, and it all kind of worked together. And I've been trying to make a go of it myself.
That's awesome.
That's
So is this your second or third crowdfunding campaign?
My first one actually was a 2018 sketchbook.
Yeah.
And that was an adventure because all of this stuff is an adventure because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if it's going to be successful or not. Nobody does. But I did a sketchbook, and it did well. And then I presented it to people like, this is a way that you can help a creator go on to do other things, because I had to stop a lot. Whenever I do my own stuff, I have to stop and get like work, to pay the bills and stuff. But I did the 2018 sketchbook on Indiegogo. It did well, and it kind of gave us some money to work with so that I could draw a comic or work on, remastering Packins Land and stuff. So that was the first one. The second one was then I think maybe it was Packins Land. And then right after Packins Land, we did a 2019 sketchbook. And so, yeah. And now we're doing Titan.
Nice. So this Tiny Titan, the Mouse of Might, how did you conceive this idea?
Actually, I've always had an idea to do a mouse hero character, but in the last year, he's really flushed out into what he looks like, what you see on the campaign. And but I've always wanted to do something where there's this little guy, that actually has to do some pretty amazing things. And he has sort of a Batman looking look to him, but he actually has abilities as well that he's learning about and developing as the comic goes.
Oh, that's awesome. Now, can you give us kind of like a synopsis of the story, or maybe a little bit of the plot?
Okay, well, the plot, the synopsis, it sort of unfolds. The story, it starts sort of like in the middle of something that he's doing. He's breaking into a facility called the Ryan Research Center, and they're like these evil scientist type people that are experimenting on animals, and he's breaking in to rescue another mouse, and he knows that they do this kind of testing because this will come out later. So spoiler to those, but it's all spoiler because nobody knows anything. But it'll come out later in the story that they had actually done testing on him because there's something unique about him because he comes from another dimension. And in the world that he comes from, which is Packins Land, the animals are intelligent and they can talk and all that kind of stuff. So not like this world. So he's sort of in our world now, I guess, the real world. And they captured him at one point and extracted blood and did testing on him. He escaped. That's a whole nother story. We'll get into that. But in this story where we start off, he's going back into the Ryan Research Center to rescue a mouse, just a regular mouse, and try to put it into the Ryan Research Center as well. And he encounters some pretty stuff in there.
Oh, wow. And this is going to be broken up into how many books?
Well, this campaign is initially, where we are right now, is going to be 2 issues compiled into one. If we reach like the 10K and then the next one after that, I'm going to be adding first 10 more pages and then another 10 pages, which will be the 3rd issue, I guess you'd say. So if we get up to what we could do, it could be a 3-issue volume, but at this point it's just 2.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
No, it does make sense.
Okay.
And one thing that's really cool, and I'm just kind of slowly scrolling through it here, is just give us a description of what you're doing here with the fan art. We on my channel, people in the chat, they'll just say, hey, maybe we should do this or maybe we should do that, and it's just fun. We have a good time on my show. And people said they wanted to do a fan art thing. I want to see the fan art. I love it. It's cool to see what everybody comes up with, and we have some inside jokes. Like there's one there, I can see the brick with the brick wall, and there's a man. They say Gary Brickman, and there's a whole, I guess, inside joke to that because I spent like 3 months on my stream just inking bricks on Packins Land, it seemed like. Oh, man.
So it kind of was a running joke. So someone drew that in the fan art. So there's some really cool pieces.
There is some really cool stuff. I like, this page here. Someone did a full page. The colored Titan mouse.
Yeah.
Loving that there. And then I think this one's fun too.
That's good.
It's cool, right?
That is
I
cool.
like that. A little watercolor action on here.
Yeah, and so what I'm going to do is I have a deluxe edition perk, and in the deluxe edition, I'm going to be printing as many of the fan art as I can. At this point, I can do all of them because there's only been, like maybe 12 submissions.
Mm-hmm.
But if it gets out of hand, I might have to just do like the best of the best type thing. We're going to do a contest on my stream as well,
Mm-hmm.
and pick the top 10 or something like that.
Weren't you at 6,000 something when we started?
No, I think we were 7,000.
Were you? Okay.
400.
I was like, wait a minute.
Wow.
Like, did you just jump up?
So what age group is this made for? Like, is this something that I could read to my children, or is this more of teen, like adult? Because it looks cutesy, but I know that it may not be. So
yeah, I think that it's family friendly. I think that everybody can read it. It's sort of like the MCU or Star Wars or something. The whole family can watch it and enjoy it.
yeah, awesome.
So, yeah.
And yeah, I can already tell. I'm going to make you some fan art because I'm telling you, that looks like it would be super fun to draw. It really does. Do you have fun drawing it? Because it looks like a super fun character and a super fun environment world to draw up. So yeah, I'm going to have to make you something because it is awesome.
Well, I look forward to it.
So I got to ask, are you working on like different, like kind of how like Spider-Man has his, catalog of characters, Batman has his catalog of characters. Are you working on like expanding the catalog of characters for Titan?
Yeah, I am. Little by little, I'm going to be adding new stuff. In the first issue, there is another character more along the lines of a villain that is introduced. And then even the mouse that he goes to rescue is another character in the story. And it starts to unfold more and more as we go. So, yeah.
The Mopsy says Star Wars is only family friendly for the Manson family.
I make the original stuff.
Yeah. Nobody's talking about the new ones.
Yeah, come on.
No, not that.
So let me ask you, Gary, are you now starting to work with any other creators, or are you staying solo? Like, are you working? Have you been invited to work on any other projects or anything?
Not lately. I haven't. No, so I am solo.
Nice.
Very
Is there
much.
anyone out there you're looking to collaborate with, or would like to collaborate with? Anyone you've met?
I don't know. I haven't really thought about that. Right now, I'm just full focus on this project and trying to do a quality job in a timely manner. So I want to get it out. I'm thinking about even switching up some future campaigns and maybe not doing such a large, so many pages, and maybe just do like a standard comic book size, and then maybe release it maybe every 2 months, do an Indiegogo campaign. It's just an idea.
Oh, nice.
And then it would get it out to people more frequently instead of having to wait for me to do 48 pages to get it done, which that's
a cool concept, because I've had many conversations with other creators, and not to go slightly a little off topic of what you're talking about, but a lot of them have brought up secondary value of books, right? Like, how can the book get more secondary value? Me personally, I think the book has to become popular. Right, the stories have to be good, and you have to build up the crowd to make your book worth something as time goes on. And I think secondary value is very hard to do. And with crowdfunding too, another issue is like, well, how do we get more of our books out there? And people are trying to think of ways to, like, well, how can you make it like you would with your local comic shop? Like every 2 weeks you've got books coming in, right? So a lot of guys are starting to look at kind of what you're talking about is, well, maybe I take that, 48 page or your 72 page book, and I break that down. And then, every couple months you're doing small campaigns, getting your books out on like on a scheduled basis.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, what do you think though, to pull something like that off? I mean, what do you think that what obstacles come into a creator's way doing that?
Well, I think ultimately when it comes to that kind of stuff, it has to be what do people want at that point? Are people more wanting like a trade paperback or graphic novel, or are they wanting chapter installments, like a periodical kind of thing. What are people looking for? And it seems like nowadays we're in more of the Netflix, like all the episodes are out at once and you can just sit and watch all of them, binge watch it. And so it seems like we're in that kind of way of consuming product now. So maybe the periodical isn't the best way to do it, but maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't matter. I do think that you could offer both, like I could do individual issues, or anybody could offer individual issues and then collect at the end of the year or something into one volume and then do another campaign,
Yeah.
Now, do you think, because I'm just waiting, I've got a comment that I'm going to pop up here once it populates from the Mopsy, and I think he makes a good point here, right? It's hard to build a fan base with a once-a-year book with only variant covers to build interest. And I see a lot of that. It's like, hey, I'm going to work on this book. I'm spending a lot of time. This great book comes out. And it's like, well, let's keep getting revenue in by making more variant covers. And people are buying them. They're buying the same book over and over again with a different cover. So and to me, that you're losing secondary value opportunity as well as growth in your book. I could be wrong. I don't know. It's just the observation I see. But I think more or less of what you're talking about is if you could achieve every 2 months, like a new issue of Titan coming out, then now you're having the ability to expose your rogue gallery and of your characters and your stories and your plots continuing on a path that now actually is making something grow, right? Yeah. So you could actually build more interest in your product because the anticipation is there, but the anticipation isn't like, shoot, I have to wait another 10 or 12 months. Right. No, every 2 months, I'm going to get my issue.
Right.
And I'm buying it directly from the guy creating it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I like the idea of doing that because, like, right now I'm sitting on an issue of Titan that's done. It's completely done. I could send it to the printer right now and we could print it up, but I had already started this campaign and I said I was going to do a 48-page campaign. And so I'm sticking to that and we're going to do that. But the idea came to me and I was just like, I wish I could get this out to people right now. And so it got me thinking, and I think it is a viable option, and I'll see if I can experiment in the future with something and see if it works out, and I'll let you know.
Yeah, because I'll be honest, with my book, I was looking at that as well, because right now the pages actually keep growing, a book's getting larger. So, me and Billy are talking like, well, maybe you just do, like a 42-page book, right? And get it out there and get the story going. And then I may cut and break everything down, and it'll hope, if all goes as planned, it'll all be complete where I could literally finish a campaign, get stuff fulfilled, and maybe in 2 months, 2.5 months, the next issue's rolling out, and then after that the next issue's rolling out.
Right.
Because that's the thing. I mean, if we're I think distribution's another possibility, with Alterna doing their thing, and I do know the guys over at Diamond. I know the Jeppies, and they honestly are very supportive of indie creators and they do back a lot of crowdfunded projects. There's always talk of, well, maybe doing something on that route. But again, I'm not gonna get too deep into that because the information is limited. But things like Alterna, that's another thing, with crowdfunding, getting the book up there, and maybe you can even, initially get them out there and then to continue redistributing, right? You get up with someone like Peter Samedi, and then you can get them out in newsprint version, where costs are low and the quality is very high.
Right. Yeah.
And get some the local stuff and whatnot. But I don't know. I'm just jabbing it because I just love processes. I'm just going to tell you what to do, Gary. That's all. I'm just telling you.
Well, hey, if it works, I'll do it.
Just listen to me. All right.
All right.
And all your wildest dreams will come true.
Right on.
Nile, Frank, amazing behind the Crowdfunding Comics logo right now. And Nile's got one word: omnibus. Get out of here. Get out of here. Writing Comics says, also, how do you know a property is successful with one book? Most folks give up after one book doesn't do the numbers they want, but big IPs took years to build. Very true. Very true. But I think the crowdfunding, and you two can definitely attest to this because you're both successful crowdfunders. When you're supporting a crowdfunded book, you're supporting the artist directly, though. So, and you get to go on streams like this, where guys like me bring you guys on to talk about your stuff, to allow these people to talk to you. You know, like it's like being at a convention. You know, right now we're in like our own panel, right? And it's the Titan panel. You know, and you know, it's just a different world. So I could see, you know, certain books taking time to grow, but I think that is one difference, is the loyalty that you do get from your backers. You know, they are patiently waiting.
Yeah, it's
for the next
a
stuff.
pretty wonderful time that we live in when it comes to the opportunities, because back in the 80s and 90s, and I guess back 2000s even, this wasn't around. You couldn't crowdfund like this. So this is wonderful. I'm thrilled. I'm really happy with how everything's gone. Everybody's been really great, and I've been happy with it.
Yeah, Captain Hilt says a quarterly release of a quality crowdfunded series is a sweet spot and would sell very well. Waiting a year for a 48-page is rough for backers. It is rough. It is rough when you back something. I will tell you, though, I think the closest model down, and I'm sure he's brought up a lot of examples, and, you know, for anyone that's not a fan of Kickstarter, if you do follow the model of Brian Pulido, I mean, you're pretty much he's solid about every 3 months. You get a new book's coming out, you know, and he plans it, and that works very well. But there's also like a team, you know, doing it for 12 years they've been doing it or something like that.
Wow.
I'm sorry, 7 years, I believe he's been doing it, with 12 campaigns or more than that. You know, they've come up with quite a science, which is something that, you know, he's even like, hey, if you know, think we're doing the right thing, just follow what we're doing, you know, and make it your own, which is pretty cool.
I think eventually we're going to get to that. Most of us in crowdfunding, it is our first time or second time. We're still learning how to do the YouTube this amount of time, and then do this amount of time. I think, and then we haven't got all of our teams together where you find somebody that you're really comfortable working with. Like, I've been lucky. I found my little group that I'm really comfortable. I love working with them. It's fun. So I can say, like, how long it's taken me to do my first book and what it's going to take to do the second is going to be drastically improved, because I've learned time management more as I'm doing my projects. I'm getting more and more of the time management. So I think at some point, a lot of us will start being on a schedule of, okay, so every 6 months, every 3 months, once they figure out, do a few and figure out how long it really takes. Because for us, like me, who's doing it for the first time, you don't really realize how long, once you add in the crowdfunding part, the YouTube part, how long it's going to actually take to get everything done the way you want it. So I think it's going to get like that with crowdfunding. I think eventually we're going to get set on a really, really good schedule, and we'll start cranking them out like the big ones do. I just think it's taken us, learning curves to figure it out.
Yeah.
The mob seat. Miles boombox speakers are awkwardly placed. I was thinking that too, man. I was thinking that too. I leaned back, adjusted. I was like, that kind of looks weird, huh? That's interesting.
I had to take a second glance to see what was on there.
Let's see what we got here. He looks like he's working on some nice B cups. You know it. You know it. All right, we'll get serious now, Gary. Yes. Our apologies. But yeah, no, I think that's funny. No, I think you're right, Mandy. I think it is going to get to that point, and I'd love to see it get to that point. And I think once people start getting more successful, like you, Gary, if Titan takes off, right, and your next book's more successful, you could even look at like, all right, I'm just going to focus on writing now. So now you can have someone that's now doing all your finish work, or you may do the writing in the roughs, and they're going to clean up your stuff and then ink it and whatnot. And then next thing you know, you could develop a team and start pushing stuff out faster.
Yeah, I think that would be great, because right now the whole weight of it falls on me. It would be nice to get people to come in and help in all kinds of ways, even putting pages together like digitally for the printer, like for pre-press and stuff like that. That would be great. Editing, that'd be great. I'm using like my wife and friends to edit, and hopefully we're going to catch everything. But so yeah, being the more successful we get, the more we're able to polish the process and make it work better, just like you were saying.
Absolutely.
Very cool. Now, is there anything out there that you're following as far as any other creators or crowdfunded books and stuff out there, Gary?
I'll see stuff every once in a while, and I'll just keep an eye on it. Like obviously the big stuff that just is like Doug to Naple or Ethan's, stuff, and Mike Miller. I'll follow what he's doing because Mike kind of came into it. Mike Miller, that is, came into it around the same time that I became aware of it, and he just rocketed past me, and so I watch, and Mike's real smart about stuff too. He knows what he's doing, and but he also has a whole lot more experience with comics. I mean, he's worked for the big guys and stuff. So I think that, like, I'll talk with him about things and ask questions sometimes, and he gives advice. He's been really helpful to me. But yeah, I'll follow stuff that's like really taking off, unless it's something that I just really don't like. Because like I said, I left comics back in the 90s because I thought it was a lot of garbage. And I'm sorry to say that I see some out there still. But hey, to each their own. Not trying to...
No, exactly. There's good stuff and there's bad stuff out there. I mean, you can't win them all, right? But you know what, though? I give it to a lot of people are trying really hard. They're trying really hard, and they're trying to get their products out there. And, that's another thing I think that's really cool. And what I see, because I feel like I'm in this like cloud watching over everything, because I literally watch what everyone does kind of silently in the background, because we do the show. We want to get guests on the show. So I, just so you all know, I check on you. I watch you all. I'm a watcher. And and I know what everyone's doing at all times. But no, it's cool to see though, like people's, even their abilities, like their drawing abilities, their writing capabilities, their marketing, who they've developed as an on-air personality doing things. I mean, it's great because there's the support, right?
Yeah.
The support helps kind of build all of that up. And that's just another cool thing about the whole crowdfunding. And like, come to think of it though, I mean, like you've been an indie creator, before any of this technology was around.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, so you were doing this before you could, go to Adobe's website, download the suite, right, for $20 a month. You didn't have these Cintiq drawing tablets or now iPads and things that you can use.
I'm still doing it basically the old way.
Yeah, I think that's the freaking best way.
Yeah.
I love that. Yes, Mopsy, I am lurking. I am lurking in the shadows.
Always. He's always
I'm a
lurking.
mighty mouse. Always lurking.
Oh, and earlier, Mob Seat had suggested that you tell us about your deluxe edition. And I don't know if I'm saying it right.
Oh, Fly Fox, actually. Fly Fox asked that.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. I'm sorry. Yeah. What's up with
so basically, sorry I was interrupting you, but
no.
Basically, the book is going to be oversized, so it's not going to be a traditional comic size, and it's going to be hardcover. But then there's also a deluxe edition, which is going to include like what I call a chapter called the Book of Secrets. Mm-hmm. And basically it's just my working process, how I do it, moving panels around, how an idea starts, like I'll come up with a drawing and I'll put it down on paper, and then I'll tweak it. I'll add some text to it, show it to my wife. She'll make some notes, probably correct all the spelling, things like that. And it's sort of just like, this is like the secret sauce of how I work, for better or for worse. So, and then we're going to also add in the deluxe edition, like the fan art stuff. And there's just going to be some treats back there. So if you want to just get Titan by itself, you can do that, but you can also get the deluxe edition and have a deluxe experience.
That's awesome.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Will you be shipping it in a special box?
I haven't gotten to that level. See, all this stuff Like Doug did a fantastic job, Doug Tenaple,
Mhm.
with Earthworm Jim. Man, it was outstanding. If you've seen it, the printing is fantastic. He even did a box. It's just amazing.
It's a great package they put together.
It is great. And that's something to aspire to. I'm not there, so I'm just going to be shipping in a regular box. So
Nice.
yeah,
There's nothing wrong with that. You know,
Yeah.
he had quite the campaign there, and I know he has a campaign on Kickstarter right now, because I guess there's some extra books or leftover books. I'm not sure. So now he's getting, I guess, trying to hit another audience over there.
yeah,
But yeah, I think everything he's doing was pretty awesome with the whole package and whatnot. But
Yeah.
again, I mean, the guy did what, over 800,000 or something like that.
Oh, he did a lot.
A
He did
lot.
At that point, you can afford a nice box,
Yes.
Yes, you can.
right?
But yeah,
That's
no,
what I'm talking
he did a fantastic job with shipment. He really did. The presentation of just opening it was quite nice, actually. So
Did you get that, Mandy?
I've seen picture. I wasn't around for it. I showed up right after he closed the campaign. But I've had a friend send me one, so where they had ordered multiple. So I have read it. I love it. But no, I didn't actually order one myself because he closed. He was already done when I showed up and found out about any comics. So yeah, I missed out on it. But I'm waiting on his next one. But I did see people doing the opening videos, and yeah, he did a amazing job with that, with the shipping of it. So
Nice. Now, Gary, are you still doing your own streams?
I am, yes.
And where can the audience find your streams at?
You can go to Mr. G Ship
Okay.
or Gary Shipman Artist Pro.
All right, excellent. We'll have Frank Amazing put that link up in the chat, so anyone that wants to check your channel, so they can subscribe to it. Correct?
Right on. Yeah.
Fantastic. Now, do you do the was it drawn and quartered stuff? You do that stuff as well?
Sometimes I didn't do it. Sometimes I don't. But mostly lately it's been because I've been doing Titan, and it's like I don't want to go and spend, because it takes a few hours to do the drawn and quartered, and I could be spending a few hours drawing Titan or writing or something, and I just feel like that's more important right now.
right.
But when I have free time, I'll go over there if they have a slot for me,
Cool.
But yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard to, again, it's the time management thing. Like, because sometimes, I feel like, okay, I don't need to be doing this right now. I need to be working on my book. But at the same time, I'm kind of burnt. I've been working on it for like 5 days straight. And I need something different or I'm going to lose my mind. So yeah, it's a lot. There's a lot of time management that you do not realize when you start at crowdfunding. You do not realize exactly the time management portion of it. Oh, tomorrow. That's going to be awesome.
Oh yeah, Venom tomorrow night. Nice.
Too cool.
And then Farmer Dan, Mandy always seems so happy. It's an act. It's an act. Don't worry about it. It's an act.
And believe me, he lurks. So
I lurk. I know.
He knows.
Like I see what you're doing too, Gary. I'm on everything.
right
I
on.
know what's going on. Keep the camera up here, everyone. Keep the cameras up here. But so yeah, man, Gary, I definitely really appreciate what you're doing. I love the art that you're putting out there. I mean, what's up in the future for you, man? Do you have anything outside of Titan that you're working on as well, or are you just focused on this right now?
Well, the focus right now is Titan, but once this campaign is done, I wanted to go back and do the next installment for Packin's Land. And Titan and Packin's Land are going to, it's like the same universe. So there's going to be a back and forth to it, and it's going to be pretty fun. I also have another project that I've been working on, or at least I haven't been working on it, but I have had it for several years, called Little Creepers. And that's completely unrelated to this universe. It's just some fun kind of thing, just silly. And I want to do that as well.
Oh, very cool, very cool. The Mopsy asks, "Is there a promo video?" There is a promo video. I'll play it. I'll play it on the channel tonight. We'll watch it, but I can't enlarge it, so I'll put it up for you guys though. Or not. Hang on. What do we got going on here? Well, that's strange. I just have, you know what, Gary, and I said this last time we were on the show, the logo for this book, I love the mouse and the A.
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, and that video, who did the video?
Edwin Boyette did that.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, he did an amazing job. I love the music. The visual is great. That's an awesome video.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Fun, man.
Yeah.
But I love that logo, man. I can't get enough of that. I love the way the mouse is in the A.
Thank you.
I know it's kind of a silly question, but how did you even think of that? You're just like, I'm going to put them in the A.
I was basically doing the intro page, which is where I think in the campaign, it's like one of those first pages there. Let me just see where it is real quick. Like the second image down, like where it says, where you see him right there in it, but you see him like jumping off a wire and then he's running on the ground. I was working on that page and then I thought, oh, it would be really cool. I was trying to use like tangents because and it's, I guess, another running joke on live streams is using tangents and things like that. And so I thought I'm going to use all kinds of tangents to like break the rules or use tangents in a good way, putting the logo in the artwork for that page. And then I thought, oh man, it'd be so cool. I had a drawing, or I said, I'll do a drawing of him in the shape of the A, and I wonder what that would look like over it. And then I played around with it. I made it bigger and smaller. And I think I've settled with the smaller, the one that you see on that first image.
In the main logo there, right?
Yeah, so that's how I did it. And I wanted the logo to be pretty basic and just be awesome.
Very cool, man.
It is awesome. I love it.
Definitely digging that. So, if anyone has any questions for Gary, please throw them into the chat and we'll get them up. Let's see. Cross Comics asks, at Crowdfunding Comics, could I get on sometime to promote my book for the Canadian Shield issue 1 on Indiegogo? You sure can if you just email your information over to crowdfundingcomics@gmail.com, and the Frank Amazing, the real man, not my imaginary friend, will get you set up. So, I was talking to my lovely co-host and our amazing guest tonight. As you know, I lurk. I'm a lurker now. That's the thing. I'm lurking. And, I was just, something was on my mind today, and I'm like looking at things, I'm seeing stuff on social media, and, I kind of feel as if there's like, where is there a line, right? Where is there a line when things need to just kind of like chill? Because, people are now getting threatened to have their books and stuff pulled from, crowdfunding sites, or people attempting to get that. I don't know. I mean, Mandy, Gary, what are your takes on kind of the things that are going on in our indie community?
Do you want to go first, Gary, or would you like me to?
I would like you to.
Okay. All right, I'll love it on me then. So, okay, yeah. We are talking about the Cecil cash grab book, and his book actually, kind of being attacked by Preston. I can't pronounce his last name. Is it Poulter? Poulter. Yeah. So my opinion on that really is, I don't understand if he doesn't like Cecil. Fine, whatever. But that's taken to attack another creator's campaign is, like, in my mind, one of the worst things you can possibly do. You're taking food off their table. You're taking money away from another human being that they might need to pay bills, to take care of children. In Cecil's case, possibly buy hookers. We don't know. Definitely liquor. But, I don't get it. And I know with Preston, the whole thing started because he never got the love from Ethan. But I've only been on with Ethan one time, and it was to talk about Rainbow Bright. That was it. I think I maybe on that stream mentioned my book maybe once on that entire stream. If you go back and watch it, it's on us, you guys. We are crowdfunding. As the creators, it is our job to not only sell our book, but to sell ourselves. And, Preston came into it thinking he was going to get on with Ethan. He didn't. And instead of being like, well, hell with him, I'm going to do it myself then. I'll just, whatever. He kind of turned, I don't know. He just seems mean to me. Some of the stuff they do, he's attacked a lot of creators. And it doesn't take anything. It doesn't take attacking him or anything. All it takes is going on with EVS, and believe me, Preston is going to come a knocking, and he's going to be angry at you. And so I don't really get the whole. I mean, I'm sure he's a nice guy. I've never actually talked to him, so I don't want to say he's not. But from the outside, he seems like a very mean person. So I'm totally anti, though, attacking other people's campaigns. That's wrong. That's like flagging videos. You don't do that, right?
Yeah. Well, sometimes, I've noticed, like, I think some people kind of like look at like the drama as a way to sell books. So, I mean, is it like a publicity stunt, right?
Yeah.
Are guys that are doing this trying to create like a publicity stunt to like sell books or do things? I don't think anyone should be messing with anyone's livelihood or creative power. Look, I don't have to like your book. You don't have to like my book. We don't have to like each other. But I think going and trying to report someone, parodies are legal. There's parody laws. Many creators do them. They have to be one-shot books. It can't be a series or whatnot. So, I mean, you can go do a Mickey Mouse parody right now, and Disney can't do anything.
Right.
Look at the Pooh books.
Right.
That Marat does. I mean, they're fantastic books. They're parodies. So he can do that. Same there. I mean, I think, like if you're a creator and someone's doing something directly to you and mocking your stuff, you have the right to go after that person. You can't just voluntarily go and say someone's doing something. And I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
If Doug Staple had come at him and said anything about it, I would be like, all right, try to handle it like that. If they don't change it, then you do what you need to do. But Preston isn't really a part of that. If anybody should be angry, it should be Doug. And Doug doesn't seem to care. I mean, he's a big guy. He'll just.
I know some people don't like Doug. I like Doug. He's a friend of mine. He's a friend of the show. And as you guys know, at Crowdfunding Comics, that's who we are. I am Crowdfunding Comics. I'm nothing else. I will have any creator on this show. No matter what walk of life you are, no matter what you are, who you do, whatever, you can come on the show because it's about your work and respecting your work. Now, Preston has good books. He has good books. We had him on the show. He was great as far as the products and stuff. And I'm not going after him or anything like that. I'm just going after the principle of what kind of bugs me is just don't you can't purposely go and try to sabotage someone. That's not cool.
No, and I've said it from the beginning about Preston. If he wasn't such a mean butt, his books do look good. They are good-looking books. The problem is, again, it's crowdfunding. Not only do you have to sell the product, you have to sell yourself. And if you were going out there being ugly to people, like me, I probably would have backed his book, but he, came at me. So, well, I'm not going to back somebody that's, attacking me because I went on with EBS one time. I mean, so I think maybe that is what is honestly hurting him, because it's not the book. It's not the quality of the book. It is the fact that he is kind of a butthole. And it turns people off from wanting to, to back not his book, but to back him. And it's all in one. And I think that's where, he kind of drew the line, and, he's on the wrong end of it with the fighting with everybody. So, yeah, I don't know why he got involved with that. That seems like it should be handled between Doug and Cecil, not Preston. But, Yeah.
Well, I just brought this up because you two are, you both, and myself included, we're independent creators, and there's that risk out there that someone can not like something you do and you can start getting attacked.
Oh, yeah, that is absolutely terrifying part of this. The thought of me saying something and not even meaning to, me saying something that somebody doesn't like, and then they try to get me kicked off of Indiegogo and now that actually I would have never in a million years have thought of that. But now that is a legitimate fear that creators are going to have is if I'm friends with them or I'm friends with them, is it going to make these people mad to where now it's a hot mess with the, how and they're not even people that most of them aren't even creators. They're fans. And that's, if you don't like a creator, ignore them, move on. Don't back their book. Don't worry about what they're doing. Follow the creators that you do like. But that does not seem to be the case with some people.
Yeah.
And
and Gary, for you, do you ever wonder, or you ever have thoughts like, hey, if I did more with this person, maybe, I can get funding to this level or that level, and then you look at but then it could also come with X, Y, and Z,
Yeah, I think that, sometimes the drama of everything, this is just the way I look at it, and I could be wrong. So it's just an opinion. It seems and you mentioned it, you said that, at least I think you did, maybe you didn't, but that it's almost a way of raising money. It gets people, if you do some playful stuff, I don't think that there's anything wrong with that, people kind of jabbing at each other and just poking fun and everybody's friends. I think that's all good. And if it makes people excited about comic books and their campaigns, then fine, go ahead and do it. If you're not hurting anybody, I don't see a problem. But where it turns, some people, maybe fans, maybe creators, I don't know, take it too far. And I think that can be, it's just damaging.
It is.
And then I don't know what has been done necessarily. I know that there is the campaign that Mandy was talking about. I don't know what that is. I don't know what they did. I know that it is targeted at Doug TeNapel, but I don't know. Is it bad? Are they defaming him? Are they, then it's okay, well, maybe there's something to it. If it is, I don't know. And so I wouldn't want to be a part of that. And so Preston, if he doesn't like it, like you said, he doesn't have to back the book. And if people don't like it, they don't have to back the book. If they do like it, they can go back the book. So I'm kind of like live and let live kind of thing.
Yeah. Yes.
But also, you had asked, would it be, advantageous to maybe go on some other streams and things like that with people that are bigger? Maybe it would be. Maybe it wouldn't do anything at all. Maybe I'm selling milk and people want, hard liquor. I might be in the wrong place selling the wrong product. So it really doesn't matter. Sometimes it's apples and oranges,
Yeah.
So,
Well, I just want to get your guys' opinion because that's something to me. and we don't really talk too much about stuff like this on the show, but Gary, you're a very level-headed guy. I know how your model of things and how you do things. And Mandy, I know you're a very good creator. You're level-headed as well. And most stuff rolls off your shoulders. And it was just kind of like something I was like, you know what, that was just a bit too far.
It really, that took it to a whole nother level. And I would even say, I know some people will say all the drama hurts CG. Some of it does, I agree, but a lot of it doesn't, because we're real people. People argue, people fight in the workplace. And who's going to watch a reality show if there's not, the one stirring stuff up and all that. So, but there is a level of, okay, this is good. Flagging people's YouTube channels, trying to get their books taken down. That's way too far. Just do it old school. Make a stream and smack talk them for 15 minutes and then shut the stream down and move on about your day. There's no point in trying to literally, deplatform somebody and take money away from whatever they might possibly need it for. So,
yeah. Well, that's what I have to say on that. I don't want to get too into it. I just think, I think it's too far.
Yes.
And I was talking to Billy today and I was like, I'm going to say something because that's just too far. That's too far. And it's just not acceptable. It's not professional. Everyone that is making comics, no matter what you call yourself, is doing this because you love it, right? Money is a luxury that you'll get out of this. Right? You got to work very hard to make money doing this.
Yes.
And don't take it away from someone else. Just and the drama, it is what it is. I stay clear from it, and that's where I'm at, and that's where I'll be. And I'll focus back on our guest tonight. And Gary, what has been the most successful part of your campaign?
I'm not sure. I think that things have been going really well with the creative process. The campaign is the best one that I've done so far. I've done 1, 2, 3, maybe 4. I did one on Kickstarter. I think I've done about 4 campaigns, maybe 5, and this has been the most successful to date. Like if you look at how many days we've been doing it, and I think we only have like 5 days left on the initial part of this campaign. So everybody get over there, check it out. But up till this point, this has been the best that I've done. So every campaign that I do, I guess, is getting better and better. So hopefully that's true. I don't know if you can't gauge it that way. I don't know. So it's all an experiment. I've been having a blast doing it. It's fun to go do my live streams, and then people come in the chat and I just draw and we have a good time laughing and just have a good time. It's been great.
Very cool. You know what I really like about this stream tonight is that me and you have the same microphone. Same color and all, Gary.
Yep.
I bought the silver one.
You have the silver one?
The silver one.
Oh, I actually see yours. It's right there.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice that.
I want to get a stand. Like I see Billy has one that kind of comes over like that.
Oh yeah.
I want one of those.
I want one of those.
Yes.
Those are nice. Yeah, I have a few of them because we used to have the whole podcast set up, like a 4-person podcast set up. So I've got all those crane mic booms and things and whatnot. And it's funny, I have all that crap. Yeah, I just put it right here in front of me on the table. That's it. That's all you need, Gary. You just need the table. Nothing else. All right. Well, man, I got to say, this has been, Gary, I appreciate you coming on the show. You got a lot of fans in this stream, a lot of people praising the book that you're doing.
Thank you.
They're loving it. And, I hope, you have 5 days left on the actual campaign. And then how long do you plan on going in demand for?
That is a very good question. I'm not sure right now, but it will be in demand. So no worries about that.
Awesome. Yeah. Good. That gives me more time to swipe that card.
Yeah.
There you go.
I was going to have to do it tonight after I went to sleep. Go in there, ninja crawl, snatch his wallet. Mine was taken away. So everybody that follows me knows my card gets taken away a lot. I have a little bit of a shopping addiction, so he has to reel me in a little bit when I get a little cray. So,
was that what you have been doing your show where you guys like
no,
stuff?
No, thank God. That was Dollar Tree buys. That's
Dollar Tree buys.
Dollar Tree. No, what happened was they ran out of inventory. So we're waiting on his store over there to restock and give us something new, and our store to restock and give me something new, because like no matter what it is, if we tried to do toys, we had already bought everything worth buying. So we're about to start back up though.
Oh, very cool. And then Captain Hiltz asks, will you do a 30-day extension?
Yeah, I will be doing that as well. So this is just the initial part of the campaign is ending in 5 days, but then after that we will extend. I guess it's just kind of the way that we do it.
Yeah,
it gets people excited, hopefully, about the campaign, and there's different milestones that we can reach and hopefully get there. I'm really wanting to get to the 8K. It's the 10K, because then I'm going to be adding 10 more pages of story and art. It's going to be awesome.
Oh, but that's awesome. Y'all, we've got to get him there so we can get more pages. You guys retweet. I ask on my streams all the time. If you guys can't back, cool beans. Please retweet the artists that you support. It means everything to us, because if you may not be in, if you don't have money, somebody else might, and they may think this is the greatest thing ever, and you just got, an artist you support, another backer. So yes, everybody in the chat, retweet, please. Okay, there we go. That was my retweet.
Oh God, I didn't have to say it this time. That's great. I don't have Mandy on all the time. I really want the white armor she variant. Oh, okay. I'll let Billy know. Gary.
Yes.
Could you show? Oh, someone was asking, do you happen to have a page that you may be working on? Something you can show?
Here's my portfolio.
Ah, damn this new system.
I thought I did. Where is my portfolio?
His area is like really, really clean compared to most artists.
I know. Mine. It's like a mess.
Yeah, where I work, there's papers it is a hot mess where I draw. So his looks really like meticulously clean over there.
I found it. I did find it.
Oh, ooh, lovely.
All right, so this is just like a cover that I'm working on.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Awesome.
The glare's getting on there. How do I do it? Like that, maybe?
No, that was good. Yeah.
That is awesome.
So that's a potential cover idea. And here's this one is, I'm really happy with it. Let me show you this one. Whew, this is heavy. Okay.
Oh, dude.
Wow.
That's fantastic.
And you did all the inking yourself, right?
Yeah.
Now, when you ink, are you using pens or are you actually using brush?
I'm using
or both.
I'm using brush and quill.
Yeah.
And even pens. So I use everything.
Nice. Now I got a question. When you're doing like if you have to ink trees or anything, do you basically bend out the bristles on your brush to help kind of make the leaf effect on trees?
I use like a brush, and I'm not sure what you mean by bend out the like flare them out.
Like flare them out. I'm sorry, flare out the bristles, and then you can like dab and get like that leaf effect.
What I do is I take a brush and I just load it up with ink. I don't know if you can see that, and then I just use the shape of the brush as a leaf, each one, and I'll move it around and do a pattern that way. But I won't flare out the bristle because it kind of would wreck the brush, I think, if I'm understanding what you're...
Yeah, I mean, I purposely wreck the brush so it would do that, and then I like work it because it's good for like small, like make like small little leaves and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
It was a technique I saw. I didn't know if it was just figured I'd ask, since your inking looks absolutely gorgeous on all those pieces.
Well, thank you.
Gorgeous. So, all right, guys. Well, thank you very much, Mandy. Thank you so much for coming on the show tonight and filling in for
No
Mr. Tucci.
problem.
I know he appreciates it. I appreciate it.
You ask, I am here, dude. We crowdfunding comics over here. Like
That's
what?
Right. Like what? And Gary, man, always a pleasure to have you on the show. Please, whenever you have anything else new coming on, let me know. And I am actually going to email you because I am in the process of doing the crowdfunding comics how-to videos. And I do have a segment I'd like to see if you'd like to be a part of. So I am going to shoot you an email this week with some breakdowns of some stuff if you're interested.
Sure. That'd be great.
I forgot to put you on the spot live on the air.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. That's how you do it.
That's how you do it. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Tomorrow night, we're going to have Ron Randall back on the show. And actually, I'm going to say it. I was going to do this, but for you guys that are watching right now, Thursday, if you enjoyed the WB's Crisis, we have Marv Wolfman on Thursday.
No.
Yeah, Marv Wolfman will be on the show Thursday. If all goes as planned. I just sent him everything on how to log in and whatnot, and I'll get all that promo stuff done. And we're going to be talking to him about his career. He has nothing going crowdfunding-wise, but we're just having him on as we're going to do. We've got a lot of great guests lined up. 2020 is going to be a crazy year for us. We've got some great support from some great creators. They're going to be coming on. Marv's going to be coming on. We're going to be talking his career, writing Crisis, working on all of that. And then if you saw the last episode, he asked for if he was the guy asking for those autographs from Flash and Supergirl. So Marv Wolfman on Thursday. So cross your fingers, everything works out well, and that'll happen. And Ron Randall will be back on. He's another former guest with his campaign, Trekker, and we'll have him on tomorrow night at 9. So everyone, thank you so much. If you haven't already, please go back Titan. Share it, do whatever you can. Let's get that to 10K. And don't forget our good friend Mandy. Her In Demand is still up. And, hey, continue to support. Your book's going to be coming out. So you'll be fulfilling soon, correct?
Yes. I'm getting right there at the end. I've already actually started sending some of my print files over to Wyatt Holiday to start on that. Yeah, no, it's getting really close. And I'm jumping straight into another one with I'm editing Rocket Gal, which has a mailing list, and I am also the writer on Pirate Queen with Clint Holinsky. Like what?
That's crazy.
Yeah, so that also has a mailing list up, so you guys go check that out, and don't forget about little Wart the Wizard.
There you go. Less than a year, Mandy, right? All this happened to you in less than a year?
Yes. I think April is about when I started. So yeah, since April.
Yeah. Because we started in March, so I know. Yeah, you were popping up as well, and man, we've all worked very, very hard, right?
Come a long way. We have come a long way.
Yes. And before you sign off, on the mob seat asked me, Jim Starlin. He wants you. I'm working on Jim Starlin. I'm also working on Jim Shooter. So we'll see what happens with that. I think that'll be a great episode.
Wow.
And and I'm still working on. We had to reschedule our. We're going to record. This will be recorded and uploaded, but we're going to do a lunch with legends. Crowdfunding Comics presents, and we're going to go have lunch and talk to Joe Sinnott, and just kind of eat lunch, talk about his career, and everything he's done, which is just monumental. We want to capture these guys as we can. No one wants to talk about the inevitable, but they're getting up there in age. And, it seems like every month we're losing someone. Excuse me. So, that's a little news for us. Gary, keep us in the loop with what's going on. Mandy, as always, thank you so much. Keep us in the loop with what you have. And I'm sure we'll see you moderating in our chats. And we will see you all tomorrow night. Thank you, everyone. And we'll see you tomorrow. Boop, 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 boop. I need, music to, go out. No? Okay, I guess this will do.
Hey guys, thanks again for tuning into Crowdfunding Comics. We look forward to hanging out with all of our crowdfunding fans every time we go live. And don't forget to click the link below and subscribe to our channel. And there's a little bell. You may want to hit that too. This way you get all the great notifications when we go live and when we upload some awesome content. You want to follow us? Sure, go right ahead at Twitter at CrowdFundComics with an X, Instagram, Crowdfunding Comics, and Facebook at Crowdfunding Comics. Till next time, crowdfunding fans, we'll see you soon.